I'd like to call the meeting to order at
Hello.
6:30. Everything turned on? You want-
Everything working?
I can redo it. Is the town
Is the recorder going?
on?
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's all right.
Sorry.
Recording in progress.
Oh. I can redo the call the meeting to order.
It's fine.
You good?
Do you remember what you said?
I do. If I don't, I'll just make up a different one. Are you insinuating that?
No,
I can't remember what I
no,
said 2 seconds
no.
ago. That's okay if you are.
I'm just double checking. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, good, very good, very good.
Carry on.
Okay, so I
Mr.
don't have to
Chairman.
say anything, great. The next thing we're gonna cover is additions to the agenda, which we do have. We have at least one, according to the select board memo.
Accepting a resignation.
Oh, that's another thing,
Yeah.
that's number 2.
Yeah.
That's not on our memo here. The memo is the planning commission unanimously.
Right.
Blah, blah. So, we'll stick that in somewhere. And the other one is accepting the select board.
Accept the minutes
September 8th.
of September 8th.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor? Oh, no. Further discussion. Further discussion.
You do need help with that or no?
With the discussion?
No, just the procedure.
No, the
that was-
procedure, right. My mind is elsewhere.
Okay.
I need to admit that. Perhaps not. With you at the moment. Okay, so let's review the minutes. Any further discussion?
It looked good to me. I remember.
Okay,
Excellent note,
All
excellent
those in
minutes as
favor?
usual.
all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes appear to have it, they do have it. Minutes are accepted for September 8th. Public comment? Do we have public here? You folks public or you something else? Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right. 6:35 PM, discuss FLU mapping and Act 181 with Brian Voigt from Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission, East Montpelier Planning Commission. So I think that's why you folks are here for that?
That's me,
That's you, that's what I thought.
the Brian Boyd part.
Yeah, I was
He's
just,
not
I was
too
putting it all together. So, if you want to take a seat at the
That'd
table?
be great, yeah,
All right,
thanks.
I'm sorry the floor is slanted, some people have complained about hurting their back. The floor.
It makes me feel right at home.
Good, all right, we're good.
It's a beautiful floor.
All right.
Okay, so hopefully Nikki, and it looks like Nikki did send out the presentation.
We have it.
Hopefully that was included in the packet, great. 'Cause
Yep.
I was not gonna go through slide by slide, I was just gonna give an overview and then kind of open the floor up. Senior planner and program manager at the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission. I'm leading up our regional plan update and future land use mapping team at CVRPC. So just a quick background on Act 181. In 2024, the legislature passed Act 181, which updated Act 250, Vermont statewide land use permitting law, to create a tiered framework for location-based land use jurisdiction. Bunch of words, I'll talk about what that means here in just a minute. Act 181 requires regional planning commissions to develop future land use maps as part of the regional planning process, and that work is currently ongoing. We anticipate submitting our regional future land use map for state approval in early 2026. So in terms of this tiered framework and this shift from to a location-based jurisdiction, Act 181 shifted the jurisdiction from being triggered by the size of development to being triggered by the location of development, and it follows a tiered framework with Tier 1, 2, and 3. Now, Tier 1 is split further into Tier 1A and Tier 1B, and these are really areas that have the capacity to accommodate additional growth. Now, a Tier 1A designation means that that area has a full Act 250 exemption for for all future development. That development review is conducted at the municipal level. Tier 1B has an exemption for up to 50 units, exempt from Act 250, and on less than 10 acres. Now, one of the big distinctions between the Tier 1A and the Tier 1B, Tier 1B is where the municipality will essentially self-certify that you're able to oversee this enhanced permitting review in order to achieve that exemption. Whereas Tier 1A is a formal application process to the Land Use Review Board, and that application will, and accompanying guidelines will come out in January of next year. Tier 2 is essentially the status quo. You could think of everything as being a Tier 2 right now. There's no change in the way that Act 250 is either triggered or implemented. And then lastly, Tier 3 is essentially, you can think of Tier 3, well, Tier 1 and Tier 3 as overlay districts of a sort. And the Tier 3 is a designation that's being developed by the Agency of Natural Resources and the Land Use Review Board. And these areas are locations with a statewide critical natural resources. So we're not looking necessarily at just a municipal forest, although your municipal forest may be included in a Tier 3 area. I'll also note about the Tier 3 piece, again, that's being developed by the Agency of Natural Resources and the Land Use Review Board, and not being generated by the Regional Planning Commission. I have been invited to sit on a Tier 3 working group, and look forward to having some more information about Tier 3 that I'll be able to share in the coming weeks and months. The first meeting of that working group is later this week. But much like with the Tier 1A piece, the Tier 3 rules won't be published by the Land Use Review Board until early next year, February of next year.
I might have missed something, but your slide for the Tier 2 says something about a road rule by July 1st of 2026. What does that refer to?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the road rule in a minute, but you brought it up,
okay.
so let's talk about it now. So the road rule, just for my own reminder there. So the road rule, again, another rule that is part of this Act 181, that will be coming out in July of 2026. And essentially what that will stipulate is that for a single family residence, driveway longer than 800 feet in length will trigger an enhanced review. And if it's a road that's serving multiple private properties or new structures, then that limit will be 2,000 feet. This does not apply retroactively.
Somebody's asking for the slides to be shared on Zoom. We actually are not looking at the slides here in the meeting. They're on the website, and people can go to the website for the meeting and look at them.
Okay, now they have that information. Thank you. Sorry.
So where was I with that?
Sorry.
Yeah, Tom's not coming. Grab the whole packet. Grab the whole packet. Okay.
Yeah, so if we're talking about, a new development with multiple housing units, so a private road that branches off into individual driveways, the length there is 2,000 feet for that. Again, that's not something that is coming out until July of next year, and really important to note that does not apply retroactively. So roads and driveways that are here today are essentially grandfathered into the program. I always find it to be a little bit less than satisfactory in my fairly cursory explanation of the road rule. I think that's the one thing that most folks seem to be getting hung up on as we go out to the communities, but I can only tell you what I know from the state, and what I know from the state is they're going to have more information into the new year and look to implement the rule by July of next year.
Okay.
All right.
So in terms of process considerations, the future land use areas are created as part of this regional planning process. We're going out to all of our member municipalities to sort of explain what it is that is the goal of this effort and anticipate future interaction as a draft version of the map becomes available for your review. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that means here in a minute. I mentioned before in terms of Tier 1B designation that essentially the municipality is self-certifying that you have the staff either in-house or are willing to contract with a consultant to provide the oversight to the permitting process that is required. And then the last thing I'll note here about process considerations, this future land use map is, will be passed for this point in time, but it will change over time as well. So just like when you work on your municipal plan, you update the municipal plan, new ideas come into play. Similar idea with potential changes to zoning as those play out. This future land use map can be amended over time, and depending on the level of amendment, it's either a really easy, we make some changes at the Regional Planning Commission and submit the revised map to the Land Use Review Board, and they approve it. If the changes exceed 10 acres in size, that means that the Regional Planning Commission basically goes back to square one, and it's a full update process. So looking at the plan and the map in coordination.
So when you talk a land use map, that land use map is specific to every town as part of this?
So the future land use map is a regional map that we're developing at the Regional Planning Commission.
Right.
And so, for example, suppose you chose not to, at this point, pursue a Tier 1B designation, but a couple years down the road, you see how that Tier 1B has worked out for other municipalities of a similar size and administrative capacity, and you say, oh, maybe we do want a Tier 1B area around our village center and see if we can't expand that a little bit more. If that process then would, the way that would play out was that the select board would pass a motion that says we want to pursue Tier 1B designation in this area. Those Tier 1A and Tier 1B, just like Tier 3, it's not town-wide, it's specific discrete locations in the town. So you say, now we want to go after this Tier 1B, it seems to be working out well, and if that affects less than 10 acres on the map, it's a real simple update process. If it's more than 10 acres on the map, it's still simple for the municipality. It's the Regional Planning Commission that goes through the formal update process for the plan and the map. Not sure if that answered your question.
So are you asking us tonight whether we want to have parts of the town in Tier 1B, or 2, what was it called, 1B?
1B.
No, I hope not.
No.
Okay,
So,
but you're working on a map that will include that, so when do you want input from us and how?
Yep. Man, it's like you looked at my slide deck and hit me with all the easy questions at the end. So we have mostly a deadline of December 9th, depending on where your select board meetings fall. If your next select board meeting was December 12th or something, again, that still leaves plenty of time. We need to know in December so that we can finalize our draft map and put that out for public comment.
Okay.
And again, you can update your preference at any point now or into the future. So no decisions necessary tonight. A decision by December whether or not you want to pursue Tier 1B designation. And
We'd have to have a certain area for that.
Yes.
Right, a specific area.
Yes.
right,
Right,
and
that's what my question was, actually.
okay, so the Regional Planning Commission is happy to work with town staff or the Planning Commission, or come back and have a work session with the Select Board if that is your preference. We can game out the areas that are potentially eligible for that Tier 1B. So this is getting a little bit ahead, but if you look further down in the slides, this Tier 1B is really, Tier 1A and 1B are really only for the village centers and the village areas.
Oh.
So there's already a fairly constrained amount of town that might be eligible, and then there are other requirements like water and or sewer. If you don't have sewer, then soils that are capable of accommodating wastewater from increased density of development.
So why would we not just tell you, look at our town plan, we've got designated growth areas, and put them all in tier 1B?
You could do that. I would guess that not all of your designated growth areas meet the minimum criteria for qualifying for that, and so that would be one area where it might not play out quite that easily. And then the other thing that you need to consider is, whether you have the administrative staff to be able to conduct that level of oversight.
So
So
maybe
your
this is a
attention.
good time for me to ask about administrative oversight. It's mentioned both 1A and 1B. How is administrative capacity defined? And what's the relationship of that capacity to the 10 Act 250 criteria that are being exempted?
So for the record, that's Renee Carpenter, she's a member of the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Carl.
Sure. So in terms of capacity, it's essentially looking at and the select board affirming that the town has the capacity, town staff has the capacity to review development permits, including those for large scale developments, again, up to, fewer than 50, so up to 49 housing units on less than 10 acres. So the Regional Planning Commission doesn't play a role in that other than to work with the town to identify areas that might fit into that tier 1B. It's not without, this doesn't mean that, okay, we don't have to go through Act 250, so we don't have to pay attention to wetlands permits or flood erosion hazard areas. That's not at all what it means. You're not exempt from state environmental requirements. It just the municipality itself is saying we have the capacity to review a permit, and if or when that permit gets to yes, it doesn't get pushed up to the Act 250 board. It remains the responsibility of the municipality,
Right.
and so essentially if someone doesn't like said permit, they're not going to sue the Act 250 board, they're going to come want to talk to
Right.
the town.
But wait a minute, there is a limit. I mean, there's development that can happen now without Act 250
Correct.
review. So the trigger point is like a 10 lot subdivision. Anything from 10 lots up would be subject ordinarily to Act 250 review.
Correct.
This exemption, the 1A, 1B, whatever, 1B is only from 10 units to 50 units, basically.
More or less, yeah.
Well, because under 10, it's not subject to Act 250 review.
Right.
So we're limited on how many areas in town that would be more than 10 units in a subdivision.
In 10 acres, in less than 10 acres.
No, it's not, there is not an acre. The zoning is what will tell you the acreage.
Isn't
each
Act
district.
250 triggered by anything that's over 10 acres?
Let me think about that.
I believe
If
there
it's
is
greater than a 10-acre lot, it's not subject to Act 250. But you have to have 10 units to trigger the Act 250 review. I
But
believe.
for this tier 1B exemption,
Yeah.
it is less than 50 units on less than 10 acres of land. So if it exceeds 10 acres of land, you no
Yep.
longer fall under that threshold, and that would move on to the Act 250 process.
50 units on 10 acres, that's all.
That could be 11 units on 10 acres.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right, so it's
Yeah.
important to not think of, oh, well, we're never going to see a 49 unit subdivision proposal, so maybe this isn't relevant to us. But I think your point exactly, it's going to be like these 10 to 15 or maybe 20 unit developments that
Yeah.
may be less attractive to a developer if they know they have to go through the full Act 250 process versus coming to the
Right.
to the town.
Let me follow up on Renee's question about administrative capacity. Some years ago, the authority for writing the septic permits passed from the town to the state unless the town certifies that they wanna do it and we're willing to put the resources into it. Would Tier 1B, would that change at all, or would we still have people going to the state for their wastewater permits? And then the town would just be reviewing that as part of the overall review of the permits?
I believe that the state would still administer the wastewater permit, just like you'd get a wetlands permit,
Yeah.
or a stream modification permit, or any of these other, you're still gonna have to get a curb cut. What is that, section 1111 permit from V-Trans if you're gonna make a curb cut onto a state road, so it's, again, not that you are exempt from those permits, or that a development would be exempt from those permits, but you're basically going to conduct your review of a permit based on your zoning bylaws.
Right.
Right.
And then you just need to think about, okay, well, if we're seeing, 2 or 3 single-family permits per year, and we've got adequate staff for that, does that also mean that you have adequate staff if, 2 or 3 15-unit permit applications came in?
Right.
Again, you can contract the work out. It's not really specified how exactly that works, but that is an option for the town as well. I like to think about this, if you know that there are both development opportunities and people that would like to develop more than 10 units, maybe this is a good thing for the town to think about. If you're seeing things that are just sort of trickling in slowly, maybe now's not the time to pursue that 1B, and you let some other towns figure out if 1B is actually working for them, and let someone else be the guinea pig.
So we have a significant amount of land in East Montpelier that's in the land trust, that's not developable anyway. So I really think that for us to take advantage of 1A or 1B and even think about it, we'd have to look at an overall map of the town, figure out what land is in current use in land trust, and figure out what's left to develop. And there isn't a lot left.
I don't think Tier 1A is appropriate for East Montpelier.
No.
So I'll just take that off the
I don't
board
think
for
it
you.
is. Right.
Primarily, well, a couple of different reasons, but primarily because if you pursued that Tier 1A designation, you are then responsible for any of the remaining Act 250 permitting conditions on existing Act 250 permits.
Oh.
That
Oh, geez.
is a big lift.
That's a
Do
big
we have
lift.
any of those?
There are, yes.
I'm sure there
Yes,
are.
there are.
I don't know
Yes,
off
there
the top
are.
of
I
my
know
head.
that.
Ongoing projects?
Oh, ongoing?
Yeah.
It could have been a project that received an Act 250 permit but wasn't fully built out, and
Right.
so that didn't trigger any of these other permit requirements.
Oh,
But then
okay.
they say, okay, now it's time to build the next X number of units,
Yeah.
which then means
Right.
you need to mitigate, 10 acres of wetlands or whatever it might be. That would be up to the
Don't do it.
municipal staff to make sure that those are enforced.
Well, okay, we do have a fair amount of capacity in our staff. I mean, I reviewed the hours of our zoning administrator for the last 2 weeks, it was 4 hours. So, we have capacity. No, I'm not kidding, it was 4 hours. But anyway,
Ben McCall has a question.
oh, okay.
Thanks. Brian, I just wanted to follow up on this question about administrative capacity, and I think I heard 2 different things, potentially 2 different things. I just want to make sure I understand. If we were to pursue Tier 1B, would we be responsible for just making sure that permits complied with the town's zoning regulations, or would we be responsible for ensuring that permits complied with the 10 Act 250 criteria in addition to our zoning regulations?
No, thanks for that. Thanks for that question, Ben. It's the town's zoning bylaws that would need to be observed for that permitting process.
So basically, we throw out all the 10 criteria from Act 250 out the window in Tier 1B, and we only have to worry about the zoning regs in the town.
Yes, unless you have some of those same criteria in your zoning bylaws already, in which case you would simply follow the permitting process established by your bylaws.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. That's kind of scary to me, but thanks for clarifying.
So just a point of clarification, I'm looking at the Act 250 criteria, and I don't know the zoning regulations as much as I will soon, but some of those criteria are about protecting, considering waste, their air and water pollution, for example. So waste disposal, water conservation, flood hazard areas, river corridors, streams, shorelines, wetlands, excuse me. So that's just criterion 1 in Act 250 looks at those. And so even if we don't have to label it as Act 250 criteria, the town would be responsible for assuring that a large development under the 50 units would, I mean, we don't want our streams polluted. We don't want new driveways to flood, you know, and so even though technically speaking, our administrative capacity doesn't have to comply with Act 250 criteria, the things that are defined by Act 250 are things that the town would be concerned about protecting our landscape, our ecology, and our residents if we don't attend to that when development happens. I hope I said what I meant to say clearly.
Yeah.
Which is just to say, we should take a look at that Act 250 criteria and understand why it has protected ecosystems for 50 years in the state.
Okay, we have another question up there, I believe. Thank you, Renee.
I don't have a question, Renee, but I wanted to clarify. Throughout our regulations, we also have to have all the state regulations passed as well. And so when it gets to septic and water and everything like that, that would all have to be clarified through the town as well. And the state requirements are often parallel with some of the Act 250 requirements.
That was Kim Watson, a member of the Planning Commission, for the record.
Okay, so let's go back to Brian here, because we're running a little short of time. Oh, we have another question?
One more question.
Oh, yeah. Ben, you have a question? Or is that
I just want to make a quick comment that I just want to express concern that if we did go the Tier 1B route, we probably would need to take a very close look at our zoning regulations in the context of what pieces of Act 250, those 10 criteria, might not be captured in our zoning regulations, because we don't have the ability to refuse anything unless it violates our zoning regs.
I think one of the reasons they had Act 181 though, is trying to loosen up development to some extent.
Residential development. in
Exactly
particular.
right. That's why they tried to reduce some of the onerous requirements of Act 250 by Act 181. So let's be careful here. We're not trying to reinvent Act 250 to apply to everything in town. We do review things pretty thoroughly. If there's something we can take advantage of in Act 181, then we should do it. But you're saying that 1B probably wouldn't be applicable, or 1A.
Well, 1A definitely.
Right.
1A is going to be
Yeah.
Montpelier, Burlington.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And places like that.
Yeah, so just cutting to the chase here, you need to get some answers perhaps by December 9th. We need to look at our maps to kind of figure out, you know, what areas in town could potentially be developed and could fall under some of this criteria.
Yeah, and if you're interested in pursuing Tier 1B, I would encourage
Yes.
folks to reach out and,
Right.
and I'm making notes as well.
Yeah.
We'd be happy, you know, my team, my staff would be happy to work
Yeah.
with the planning commission or town staff, whoever it might be, to identify those areas that
Exactly.
that could fit into 1B.
Yeah,
And
Right.
then it would really be up to you all to decide
Yeah.
whether you want
yeah,
to pursue 1B for those
right. I think
locations.
that's a sensible route, yes.
I mean, it makes sense for the planning commission to, you know, do most of the
Well,
work.
what they would
initially.
do is they would look at the maps, make
Sure,
a
of course,
recommendation to the
yeah,
select
of
board,
course.
we would look at it ourselves.
Exactly.
Reach out to Brian, blah, 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 process.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you're essentially, the key piece then is, the select board essentially putting a motion on the
Yeah.
floor that says, you know, we
Yeah.
affirm that we've got the capacity to administer a Tier 1B
Right.
over, you know,
Yeah.
such and such area.
Exactly, and
And-
then that gets put in the map.
And that gets put in the map,
Right.
and then when we take the map to the land use review board for adoption, once the map is adopted,
Yeah.
then that Tier 1B designation goes into effect.
Exactly, yeah. I'm clear.
So do we wanna make, we've got the chair of the planning commission and a number of members of the planning commission here, do we wanna make a request to the planning commission to take a look at the maps in town and, see if they have any recommendations about, areas that might go into tier 1B?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I also think that just to do due diligence, we should have some maps ourselves
Sure.
Of course.
at some of our meetings in conjunction, and we don't have to have a conjunction with them, but we have to be clear about it, we know what's going on,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
because we do have the capacity to look at the maps,
we do.
so,
Two more time.
yeah, Kim?
I was just gonna say that we have designated some areas in previous maps of where we thought there would be hamlets. I think CVRPC also described some hamlets that would be like the Center Road area, Gallison Hill, North Montpelier, we already made a village. And so there's probably a few more areas, but not many, based on the zoning.
Yep, so officially, let's ask the planning commission to look at those maps, and we'll also put it on some of our agendas, and by, a date certain, we'll get things figured out, so we can reach out to Brian. Yes, sir?
So Glenn Wyatt with the planning commission also.
Yep.
What sort of a deadline would you want us to work off of?
Well, December 9th is when, Brian would like to hear from us, but, you should be looking at those maps fairly soon, because you know how it goes, takes a while.
Very soon.
Yeah, fairly soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask Ben McCall if he's okay with that request, but I saw him nodding his head earlier. so-
Okay, sounds
Yeah,
good.
Okay,
Great,
All right.
thank you, planning
Thank you.
commission.
Yeah, so we'll look at the maps too ourselves
Sure.
fairly soon, so we can get the process rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, and, just wanted to go back to, I think it was Tim that made the comment about hamlets. Those are not likely to be areas that you'll designate for tier 1B because they're unlikely to meet the minimum threshold requirements around water supply and or wastewater. So, think about the village center, think about trying to expand the area around the village center in ways that make sense. And, we're certainly happy to look at what other locations might fit the bill for
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
So just really quickly, because I know we're sort of eating into a lot of your time here. One of the other things that the legislation required was for the regional planning commissions to develop a statewide methodology for developing this map. So for each of the 11 regional planning commissions is essentially using the same cookbook, if you will, use these data sets to identify what village centers are, use these data sets to identify rural conservation and so on. So we are allowed to vary from that methodology, but if we do, there needs to be a reason, and not just because East Montpelier is special in a different way than Montpelier specials, et cetera, et cetera. There needs to be a good justification for that because when we take the map to the Land Use Review Board, we have to note, the Regional Planning Commission, have to note where we varied from the methodology and why. And if they don't like our justification, that could be a reason for them to not approve the map. And lastly, in terms of the methodology, we're essentially starting from the inside and mapping out. So we're looking to identify those areas that can accommodate the most development into the future, designating those on the map, and then sort of moving out. So our downtown centers, our village centers, moving all the way out into our rural categories.
So Brian, if I could just interpret your first comment there, I think I hear you saying that, yeah, it's okay for us to come to you and request some areas of town be put into tier 1B, and if we are requesting some areas that would not be classified as 1B according to the statewide RPC methodology agreed on, then you're going to be looking at that very carefully. Is that right?
Yes, I mean, and it goes beyond the desire for tier 1B. It could be for any of the 10 different land use classes.
Okay.
And so let me just circle back to that in a minute here. So the way that the legislation was written, there are sort of 3 different groupings of future land use classes: high density, low to moderate density, and then our rural areas. And those high density areas, our downtown centers, our village centers, planned growth areas and village areas. These are the areas that should be able to accommodate the vast majority of future housing growth. So we have these statewide housing targets that are being disaggregated, or were disaggregated to the regional level and then further disaggregated down to the municipal level. And part of the way that we assign those regional housing targets to the local level is based on the amount of area in the various future land use classes that can accommodate development. So fewer areas that are designated as one of those high density classes means a smaller number of housing units will be assigned as the target for the municipality, and vice versa. We get into low to moderate density areas, and these are things like transition or infill areas, so not quite ready for the big time, but maybe these are some of those areas that you've got designated as planned growth areas, but there's not water, wastewater infrastructure currently. Designate those as a transition or infill area, and that could help in the future with applying for grant funds to say, hey, we set aside this area as a transition zone. Now we need a little bit of grant funding to kick off the extension of the water line or the sewer line. Got resource-based recreation areas. This is really thinking more about like ski resorts, lake shores, concentrated trail networks for hiking or mountain biking, and then also the accompanying development, housing and commercial development that surrounds those locations. Enterprise areas, things like industrial parks or natural resource extraction, so it could be a quarry, it could be timber yard, etc., or other commercial uses involving large land areas. And then lastly, in this low to moderate density are hamlets, and so these are just these small clusters of homes, typically at an intersection of two roads, not typically served by water or wastewater, not necessarily planned for significant future growth, but could accommodate some additional development and are at least notable at the municipal scale. This could also be these locations where eventually you hope to scale up to sort of that village center level of development. And then the last of these, the rural land use, there's rural general, rural ag and forestry, and rural conservation. So rural general is just going to be like your large lot, 10-acre minimum zoning for houses that are sort of just spread out across the landscape. Rural ag and forestry are likely to be things like your current use or use value and appraisal lands. If a parcel is not enrolled in the current use program, that doesn't exclude it from being included in the rural ag and forestry, but as a starting point, we would look at all the current use lands. And then lastly, the rural conservation are going to be, in contrast to that tier 3, which is the statewide critical natural resource areas, that rural conservation would be sort of important areas more at the municipal to regional scale. So aquifer protection, wetland protection areas, etc. Now, I'll just close with a few things. This future land use map is not a zoning map, and it does not dictate development that can occur. There is nothing in this future land use map that says you are not allowed to develop a property. Even if a parcel is designated as tier 3, that statewide high priority natural resource area, that doesn't mean that the property owner whose land falls under that tier 3 designation can't do anything with the land. It just means that the threshold by which an Act 250 review would be triggered will be lower.
Yeah.
Again, just have to put that out there sometimes
Right.
multiple times for folks to understand. This isn't state zoning.
Yeah.
This isn't the state telling you can't
Right.
use your land, but it is the state saying we may condition the use of your land, particularly if it falls into that tier 3 designation. Existing designations remain. So the town has a village center designation. Although that program itself will be sunsetted, what happens then is that the village center is essentially translated onto the future land use map, and all those benefits that exist under the state designation program for village centers are then conveyed to that future land use class. So you're still closer to the front of the line for grant applications for things like a municipal planning grant or infrastructure development grant than you would be if you're talking about an area outside of one of those designated locations. I already mentioned the tier 3, lowering that jurisdictional threshold, and we did touch on the road rule, and I'll just highlight the one other piece that I didn't mention about the road rule is that it only applies to tier 2 and tier 3 areas. The road rule does not apply to tier 1A or tier 1B designations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So with that, I'll stop. I'm happy to answer any additional questions that folks have. And again, it's not a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
If you have questions at some point in the future, reach out to me, and Nikki or myself would be happy to respond.
All right,
Thank you for that, Terry.
Thank you.
yeah, thanks. Well, interesting. We'll see what we can work on.
Interesting is one way to describe it.
Good team. Okay. no,
Well, I can
positive.
see the benefit, but, you know.
Positive.
We'll see if we're still friends when I come back with my map. Huh?
Well, we can always change the map.
That is
It's a
true.
process. Any other questions from the multitudes that are zooming in? Okay. So
All right,
planning commission, you're clear with your mandate, I hope? Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Great. Yeah.
We'll
so-
work our end too. And we'll
Thank
get
you for all your
some
work, Glenn.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Feel
Yeah,
free
you
to
did
reach
it.
out with questions. Yep.
You do a great job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And thank you
Really.
for all. Thanks,
Actually,
Glenn.
very
Appreciate you showing
interesting
up.
and you did great.
Oh, and just
Sure.
one point of clarification, and
Yeah.
it's not because I care, but my last name was spelled wrong on the agenda, and I
Yeah.
only point that out because if you do send me an email, the email is my last name at
Yeah,
Central
What's the correct
Vermont.
spell, what's the correct spelling?
VOIGT, no
No
H.
H.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right.
You could work with your IT person so that the H spellings would go through to you as well.
Unfortunately, I'm also the IT person, and I just don't need one more thing.
That's awesome.
No, you gave a good, very interesting presentation.
Yes,
And I
thank
can
you.
see you knew what you're talking about, which is very good. So I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it was good.
Yeah,
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I look forward to working with the town and the
all right,
planning.
all right. We'll
Thanks
be in
so
touch.
much.
Thank you.
Yep. VOIGT.
GT.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to discuss the funding request study committee kickoff with Ginny Callan and Paul Earl. Are they there?
I'm here. I don't know why my video isn't showing up, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, very good. And I see Ginny is here too, right?
Oh yeah, Ginny's there, and Paul, we hear you, so we need the kickoff. I guess you're gonna kick it off.
Well, we've just
Basically, what's that? Go ahead.
we've just begun receiving applications. I think 2 have come in. Jen Devine has sent them to us, and the town report kind of already told the story of last year and the year before. Last year, we proposed and the town approved a funding request that was a little bit less than the year before, 23,000 and some. But we stayed under the 25,000 mark, and I guess we got to do that again this year.
That's exactly true. And you know the reason, correct?
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know the reason? Stay under 25,000?
yeah, Australian ballot.
What's that?
He said Australian ballot. It's not.
Right, well, no, that's true. It's that if it goes over 25,000, we have to do it by Australian ballot. Exactly. Yep, perfect. And the process that we've employed in the past of one request, it's gonna push you over 25,000 and we move that to a separate item. That can
Yes.
happen, you know, like Twin Valley Seniors gonna ask for 5,000 and that pushes you over 25. We put that in a separate category or a separate article. So that's always the option. Anything else?
And we'll tell you folks and ask you folks to put something on the warning if we need to.
Yeah, usually the person or the group that gets moved to the separate article would come in and ask for that to be on the, as a separate
Right.
article, standalone.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll tell them to ask you.
Yeah, that's usually the process.
All right, good. Good. And Jen Devine, is there anything that we should know that you should tell us?
No, I did, send out the application and the email to all the community groups already, so they have the application.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, as you move forward, if there's questions, we're always available at our meetings, so you can always come in at one of our Monday regular meetings, put you on the agenda if there's questions about an organization, et cetera, et cetera. But, I mean, you folks have always done a good job vetting the various organizations. I think there was over 30 last year, so it's a fair amount of legwork.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we take a good look.
No,
yeah,
very
no, you
good.
do, and it's always
Good
worked out
team.
well, but there could be questions about a new organization or something like that, and we're happy to answer questions or put you on the agenda if you have, you know, concerns.
Good, all right. Well, thanks for that.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right. Take good care, folks. Thank you.
Yep.
But, thank you.
Have a good evening. Okay, so the next item on our agenda, road foreman to provide updates on East Montpelier road tracker, truck and excavator, et cetera. How you feeling tonight?
Way better.
Way better, good.
Still a little rough out
A lot of people were sick.
Bad.
It's been going around.
Once in 10 years sick or something. It's bad.
Yeah, you still sound.
They said I made it into the 2%
Really?
of all sick people.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I feel like a real winner. Yeah. So, did you guys get the truck info?
We do.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the. Scott, there's another one. Yeah, this
So
one.
this is the replacement for the International.
Correct.
That's.
Oh wait, I got an excavator proposal.
Yeah.
I didn't get any.
Oh, I have the truck.
There's two?
Is it on the website?
Yeah, there's 3 different documents. This came in last minute, so
Uh-huh.
this
Yeah,
is
my
just the
apologies.
print off.
But the other 2 are on the website?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right here.
This came from the perspective of,
No, no, this is the one.
So.
Which one we're looking at, excavator? Or,
I was starting with the truck.
okay, truck. Go.
Yep. So the reason this truck comes up is it's not sold yet. That's part of the reason.
Yeah,
The truck is available to be built in the spring, and they have the equipment to go on the truck in the spring.
yeah,
If we were to order something that was more, it'd be very similar to this, but not the same, we'll put it that way. There's some things that would probably get downgraded a little bit. We'd be looking at least 2 years out. So that's why I brought this truck to you, with the plow equipment on it.
how much is this truck? Back page.
It's, holy cow. Yeah,
It's got a lot of stuff on
yeah.
it.
Well, it's, no, it goes through all of the, like, every single thing.
Yeah,
So the,
okay, got it. Well, that's,
I have it written up there. That doesn't really have it there. The truck and, the truck, so the cab and chassis
right,
with the,
equipment.
with the equipment,
I got equipment, it's about 100,000.
Yes.
98.9.
and so the chassis is 144,000
Okay,
as it's equipped, and that's not really an option to change because that would involve ordering
Yeah.
a different truck.
yeah, right,
Um,
that's what it is.
Right, and we need to jump on the wagon of replacing that truck.
Okay, so the truck's 144 and then the equipment's 98.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's about 200.
98, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And then it'll give us how much for the old truck? Or
That is not discussed in any of the paperwork.
Okay.
It's going to be a very minimal amount, I can
Yeah.
guarantee that.
You know, so the big question is, and we discussed this at a meeting last, was you gotta make it from here to there, this winter.
Yes.
Right, and that's a big problem because, they want 40,000 to fix the
Yeah,
truck.
correct. That's the minimum
Right,
fix, yeah.
and you were suggesting using our spare
Our
10-wheeler,
spare truck, correct.
which is awkward, but it would work.
Right, I mean, it's there to fill in the gaps as needed.
Yeah,
Um,
and that would require what for equipment? You have to spread salt with it, but you can just use it
Yep.
like it is?
Yep.
Okay,
I mean, there's nothing more than we would need to add to it. There's some minor repair stuff we need
Yeah.
to do.
then no ordinary
Right,
maintenance.
if it was gonna be a spare truck going
Yeah.
through for sand, it would be the same.
Right, so does everybody understand what's happening? We have
Why
a
don't
truck,
you give an overview?
we have an international truck that's at the shop right now. It's gonna require at least $40,000 worth of work. It's not worth it. So we could just not do it, and we could use our spare 10-wheeler for this winter
Right.
to fill in, and then order perhaps this truck, which is the closest option that we have on a timeline.
Without waiting for 2 years.
Right,
And why are we only looking at one firm for a bid?
because that's the only,
Because-
that is a truck.
HP Fairfield, which would be another company, and Tenco would be another company, 2 years out.
Right,
Everyone else is 2 years out.
and the truck's a good truck, it's a Freightliner.
Yeah, I think we're going to be, the next 10-wheeler we purchase, I think we're going to try to work something out with Viking also, saying that, and we'll probably start circling a rotation out of Tenco equipment.
Because Tenco is now in New Hampshire. It used to be in Barry. They moved out. So now services are problematic because it's far away. Viking,
Yeah.
where's Viking?
Williston.
Williston. So
Yeah.
that's closer. So that kind of makes sense.
It's so hard to get Tenco parts. Viking is actually carrying some Tenco parts now.
Where it used to be nothing. They were in Barry.
Yeah.
Old Phil Martin building. It was easy cheesy, but not so anymore.
Correct.
It's a moving, changing landscape.
It's a never ending, yep.
Yeah.
So it would be a Freightliner truck. One thing I can say, it's a lighter duty truck, but at least the tires and rims are all compatible with the trucks we already have. So that's one thing that, normally it would have a smaller rim and tire, and then you end up with this oddball things
Nothing fits.
that doesn't fit anything else, right? And this
It's
truck,
two-wheel drive, I assume.
it is not, it's 4.
This is 4.
It is 4, yeah.
The
It's a
International's
smaller-
2, right?
It is, it's a smaller truck. And that's part of the purchase price is
The 4-wheel drive.
the 4-wheel drive is an addition.
Wow. How much does that add to it?
$37,500.
Ooh.
Yes,
So the cab and chassis would be closer to 100.
yes,
Really?
yep.
Mm. So we probably save money for waiting 2 years. Because you get 2-wheel drive. Except you'd have to wait 2 years.
You'd have to wait 2 years.
We'd have no spare truck for 2 years.
We'd have to run the spare truck.
Which
Yeah.
means we'd have no spare truck.
Well, we have 4 10-wheelers, so
That's,
I know. They like to break. I know all that. I've been working on equipment all day.
they
Anyway.
only break when you use them.
Yeah, I know. It's good that we're using it, but anyway.
Just leave it in
So-
the shop.
Well, that's an interesting, I mean, 4-wheel drive, you hardly really need it, but, I mean,
I don't disagree with you.
yeah, you use chains and you're on blacktop, so. not
I
really-
don't think we'll be using hardly any chains
I know.
in this truck.
Yeah, I don't think so either,
That's-
actually.
And the only chains that we run on the truck that runs the blacktop are the ones that come off the 10-wheelers, usually, the singles.
Yeah,
I think there was one time we went out on ice last year that I put a new set on. And
Yeah.
It's
Right.
irritating to run new chains on blacktop, and
oh, yeah,
it just shakes
I
the
get it.
truck to death.
yeah. Huh, okay.
So that is the option I brought to the table. I know that it doesn't.
Now, what do we have in our
Capital
capital
budget
plan
is just
for
asking.
this truck?
Just gonna ask.
We just have a truck line, right, or equipment line, what do we have?
The trucks are in their own line. Their own-
But just trucks?
Each truck has a replacement.
Oh, each truck does?
Yes.
Okay, so what's in that line?
Well, like an actual replacement value that's left there.
No, how much money do we have?
That would be a group together.
Oh,
That would be
that's
the
what I thought.
10-wheelers, 6-wheelers, even the
Okay.
pickup is on that page.
They're all grouped in the
Yes.
truck
And I did not.
category.
Correct.
Well, we can usually scrounge up the money somehow. That's not really too problematic. The decision to make is whether we just pull the trigger on the truck
Yes.
and do it to it.
Do we have much of a choice?
Yeah, you have 2 choices. Either go with this or go for 2 years.
Yeah,
That's your choice. Or fix the international, put 40,000 bucks into it,
and
which our road foreman doesn't think is a good idea.
it is a terrible
I
idea.
tend to agree with him.
A terrible idea.
I know a lot about trucks, so
Oh, you do?
I'm gonna make the decision.
God.
I would struggle to spend the money to put an air freshener in this.
All right, so you probably would say, go with the truck that we can get quicker, because you don't, it does make your life easier. For
I
next
wouldn't
year.
bring a truck that is, like I say, the truck being available in the spring
Yeah,
is the main reason it's here.
right,
It's
I
a
got it.
Freightliner, which
Yeah.
isn't our normal, if you
Yeah,
wanna put quotes on that.
Yeah.
And it's Viking equipment also. The international or the salt truck's always kind of been an oddball as far as the rest of the fleet. But
yeah. Where is the Freightliner dealer? Is that Lowe's?
yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Yep.
So there's no downside to the brand.
Charlie Boy, so you'd have to go to
Oh,
Colchester.
Charlie?
Yeah, you'd have to go to Colchester.
I think the only,
This truck's actually not at Charlie Boy's, it is it's in Westminster, I believe,
oh, really?
right now. Or,
Yeah.
that's who's has it.
Well, I think in the interest of getting a truck for the following winter, probably a good idea. I mean, I think you're gonna be all right using the bigger truck, but it is pretty inconvenient. in
It is.
smaller
It's
places.
going to be
big.
switching back, the pickup is gonna have to do all the corners and
Yeah,
like parking rides, stuff
Right.
like that. But
yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the neck,
Uh,
but it can be done.
8 out of 10 times I bring it down here anyway and do around
Yeah.
vehicles and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that sit
Yeah.
there for a few days.
Right. It's hard to get close with a bigger equipment. So, I would say, what do you wanna do? You wanna go with a truck that you can get more
I
quickly?
think it's a good decision to go with the truck we can get more quickly.
Yeah. I tend to
It-
agree.
The other thing that's a little different on here, which doesn't really reflect that much in the Viking chives, is it's a stainless steel body.
Which is better.
It's,
Last one.
yeah, in theory, it would last really well.
Right.
And I think it would give you retail on the other end.
Yeah, true.
Which I know you guys don't look at that in a capital budget very much, but.
But yeah, it's a consideration. The international might be worth anything. Project. Put it out to auction, basically, is what we should do it.
Yeah,
That's what we should do with it now. Put it out to auction, get rid of it, put the 40,000 bucks into it, sell for whatever we get, bye-bye, correct?
yes.
And then order the other truck and use the Mack, use one of the big trucks for this winter. I think that's what we should do.
Don't mean to bring a limited option, but I really think that the other options are just too far-fetched.
Yeah.
Literally, they're just
Yeah,
2 years away, there's still too much uncertainty.
yeah. All right,
With,
Do we need a motion here?
yeah,
Make a motion to go with the truck,
Freightliner,
the Freightliner
that's the
from
real one.
Viking,
No, Viking is not where the Freightliner's
well,
going.
that's
That's the equipment,
the equivalent.
two separate
Freight-
things.
With the Freightliner
Oh.
M2106 plus. That's what it says
yeah,
right here.
he's not
I
wrong.
believe the motion is to authorize the purchase of the Freightliner truck as presented.
Yeah, and
Is that,
with,
does that
with,
sound okay,
Exactly
Rosie?
what he says.
with the Viking equipment,
It was pretty close to what I had.
Okay.
That's good.
with the Viking equipment.
Isn't that the
Well-
truck, isn't that the truck, the Freightliner?
So
Yeah.
are we authorizing the
So I was
purchase,
right.
or are we
You were
authorizing the town administrator
Carl?
to sign a
I was
contract?
right on that.
Okay, what's that?
Are we authorizing the purchase, or are we authorizing the town administrator to sign a contract? Is there anything that needs to be signed?
I told them if we got something, that was their hope, was that something would be in writing.
Yeah,
They
Okay.
trust the town, but
Then I
they
can give you the draft minutes.
they don't wanna
That's all I
not-
need.
don't wanna wait till spring and then have us decide that
No.
they're gonna buy some used.
no, we'll
truck
sign a contract,
for
So, we- yeah,
less money.
so authorize the purchase and authorize the town administrator to sign.
sign that contract.
Freightliner
Do
M2106.
they need a deposit? Sometimes.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, fine, okay. That's a motion on the floor?
Do we need
Got a second?
anything on
You
the
second? Sure.
auction?
Sure.
Yeah.
Any
Jen
further,
had a question?
what's that?
You good?
Do you wanna put anything about the cost on it, or?
Or the auction piece?
No, let's do the auction separately, we're gonna do that. We can put the amount in there, like Yeah.
Well, we said as presented, so.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
true.
that's close enough.
It's on the website.
Okay,
That locks it in.
close enough.
Whole row
Okay.
knows, no.
Any further discussion about the truck or the Viking equipment that's gonna go on the truck?
Not by me. I made a
So, I do think though, for the sake of the minutes, that, we should have, Rosie?
I'm sorry.
I think for the sake of the minutes, we should have in the description of this item, just a description of exactly what was presented in terms
Well,
of the
Okay,
Freightliner, the cost,
so I'm
cost of the
seeing,
equipment.
Freightliner M2 106 plus.
Thank you.
so this
Third
is
time.
195, 5, correct? Out the door price,
Yeah, I just gotta text this because my cash are out.
okay.
Motion to adjourn?
No,
Well,
Okay.
the 195, wait, no,
No.
you're looking at
There's
the
240,
excavator,
there's
this is the
240.
excavator here.
I don't have anything,
Okay.
so I'm just looking
Should
at,
be $243,800,
because that's a person.
243,800 is what Guthrie
Okay.
just said,
according to my calculator.
with,
243,800.
800.
with the out the door price.
I got
Oh,
the
I
same.
see, plus these two additions, right,
Included.
included.
Everything's included in that.
Yeah.
all right,
Thank you,
we have it
sorry.
straightened out. Any further discussion? All those in favor,
Not
please
by
say aye.
me.
I can't know.
I had
Yeah, I know,
accurate.
I know. You're reading off the front page and you feel vindicated by somebody else was trying to.
Can we vote?
Yes,
Let's vote.
all,
Aye.
I already asked for it.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes appear to have it
Unanimous.
unanimously. Okay. Okay, now we'll talk about the excavator. Yeah. Here we go. We talked about this before.
We did.
Yeah. Did we sell the other one? I see it
No.
going down the road the other day.
Yep. Been using it.
We didn't sell it because they didn't come up to our bid, or what was it?
Correct.
Yeah.
The tricky part with the auction, when we say we need to get 25,000, somebody bids 25,000, they've gotta pay
Yeah.
nearly 18% on top of that, so they're up to like 34,000.
Yeah.
So their finished number and our finished number look very different, so.
Yeah.
That's where they fell just short, so. The high bidder did bid 25,000, but no one bid him up to his 25,000, so he fell just short. And he came and looked at it to make that, the auctioneer was gonna allow him to make that offer just over the
Yeah.
25,000. And he came up, he was right in Randolph, so he came up, looked the machine over, we fired it up, ran it, and he decided to not make the offer, so.
Okay. So we still have it.
We do.
Okay.
So what would happen if we wanted to go back and say you can have it for,
No, we're getting a trade for
We're
it.
getting
Oh, I'm
25,000 for
sorry.
it in here.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about
Um,
okay, never mind.
So this excavator is the one that we've been running for the last couple months.
Yep.
And it's got hydraulic coupler, hydraulic thumb,
it. Yeah,
the two buckets.
yeah,
So then then it has a factory auxiliaries on it for the hydraulics to run the tilt bucket. So then we'll need a second auxiliary hydraulic on it to run the rotobeck bucket.
right.
So they've added the install, the kit for that and the install in. That's the Stucci couplers also are on that, that's why they're in there. And then a 3-year, 2,000 hour, warranty that extends, extends from the time of the purchase.
Mhm.
And then, it has the free care and maintenance, for 2,100 hours. And then the remainder of the undercarriage warranty and emissions warranty. So that brings us to a purchase price of $241,900.
Mhm.
Then with the trade allowance, and they deduct the 3 months worth of rentals,
Mhm.
it'll bring us down to $195,900
Mhm.
for a purchase price, and not the door price.
So the only downside, of course, with the track one is then you gotta buy a trailer
Trailer.
or else you just hire it.
Which has
All
been
around.
pretty good. There
Right.
was a couple of times where it was inconvenient, but
So
Yeah.
the trailer would cost 20-something thousand.
22, yeah.
22,000, it goes behind one of the 10-wheelers,
Yes.
then you move it around when you wanna move it, but right now, we don't have a trailer, so it's a little bit of a pain, but it is pretty cheap, it's a couple $100, right?
Yeah.
For Mike Brown to move it. We could just do that for the moment, or whatever.
It would still be 3 months if we ordered a trailer in October.
Right. Yeah,
It would still be 3 months.
and you wouldn't use it really in the winter,
Not much.
not much. So, it is handy having a trailer, I have one myself, it's pretty darn handy to be able to move your excavator when you need it. That's what I find. Mine's an old beater, but still works.
Yeah.
So that's another purchase, just telling everybody.
Right.
It's 20-some thousand that we'd also have to spend. to
Could we
get a
find
trailer.
a used one?
You can,
Since you're not using it every day?
yeah, you can. I found that a really good used one costs almost as much as new.
Yeah.
That's what I found when I was looking around. I finally found mine for $6,000, but it is a beater. I bought it at a state auction, it's 20, 30 years old, you know, it's pretty rough.
I have an 8x12 trailer, you wanna borrow that?
I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay. I'm offering.
Behind your Mustang.
All right, I'll try.
So anyway, that's a potential thing that we're looking at for a purchase as far as that goes,
Yeah.
because the other excavator was wheeled, you could drive it around town,
Right.
that's what we did.
The reason I'm not bringing a wheeled excavator to you is compared to, even if you add the 20,000 to this purchase price, or 25,000, saying you're buying an extravagant trailer,
Right.
you'll say 225, that's,
Yeah,
that's an expensive trailer, very. You'd be adding another close to 200,000 to it to buy the same machine we have now.
it's not,
Like a direct replacement of the Volvo 160 on wheels.
200,000
In
Additional.
addition,
In
addition,
addition, wow,
yeah,
that's why.
the
it's fine
price
to
of them
track,
just went through the roof.
okay.
Which
That's
I
a
think is
convincing
weird, I don't know
argument.
why.
And yet, when you look up the used ones, an expensive used wheeled excavator, it's got the hours like ours does.
Yeah.
It's on the tail end of its very active life. It's not that far off from our trade. Like 35,000 you can buy a pretty decent one. So it's kind of mind-boggling to me that they have such a huge loss over their lifetime.
Yeah,
Appreciation.
okay.
All right.
So I move to authorize
That was
the,
only 14.
Yeah, the state police is gonna call it now.
All right, let's run through this agenda, buddy.
I move to authorize the purchase of the excavator as presented.
You don't want to go through the 2003 Komatsu, or 2020.
I have that.
You don't-
2023 Komatsu PC 138
I do, but I'll be
SLC
overruled.
dash 11 excavator as presented.
Stop, that's you.
Going to be exact.
Okay, Rosie can fix it.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Okay. Any further discussion?
And to authorize the town administrator to sign any necessary papers.
Exactly.
I did initially have a quote for the trailer,
Yeah,
but it was more than 30 days ago now, and in
Yeah.
30 days they won't let you open the
yeah.
thing.
It was
So-
21,
It was-
change or something.
Yep, they were giving us a little discount as a
But
municipality,
it's a different trailer, it's not the tilt, it's a ramp,
right.
right? Reminds the tilt, which I like actually, but, yeah, but it's got ramps instead of the whole
Okay.
bed tilting up. It's fine. Anyway, any further discussion about the Komatsu?
No.
No, we're ready for a vote.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jeez. Wham, 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 okay. Anything else? Oh, you wanna
Yeah,
tell us what's going on with the roads?
The tractor,
Yeah,
has been pretty good. I initially started putting everything into it as much as I could, and then I kind of held back on it a little bit because it was more go in and put it in, and then in theory the next day it would be taken right back out. So the things that we're not going to get right to, I've been adding to it.
yeah,
And I've also, like an open-ended statement, can't really go in there because it's never completed. It's just an ongoing event. So there's a few in there right now that, like I said, that can probably just get erased out. It would be like fixed mud ruts in the spring.
yeah, okay.
Well, that's
That doesn't
that's
need to
a
be on
three,
there.
that, but you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of a blanket statement. That
Yeah.
Something that's going to
But
happen.
what we're looking at is a list basically that you can cross off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's-
ongoing issues, like
Yeah.
the signs or
Yeah.
the blah blah, so you can get done with the job and cross it off.
Yeah.
Some of us take satisfaction in crossing things off the list.
Yes.
I don't know.
Like, it
Is
should, I just don't like it to be 2 hours of my week when it's
No,
putting stuff in and then
I get
taking stuff
it.
right back
We don't
off.
want that to
So,
happen.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
So,
No,
like I say, when I have things on like, you just say like a 3-day weekend on the Monday, you're gonna have something.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff is just bang it out before 9 and 10 o'clock that morning.
That's fine. You don't have to
And
put those
that's-
on there.
Exactly.
Do not,
So
do not.
it's not like it's a work completed or work done list. It's more of tracking things that are gonna have to be scheduled to be done.
And there have been long-term issues.
Yep.
Okay, so,
There's quite a few on there that have been completed.
oh, good.
They're
Beautiful.
not gone, they're completed.
How's the sign thing? I haven't checked the track.
We did,
That's,
did some, yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Hammer Hill one still in the bushes up there?
nope, that one's
Okay.
gone. There was some broken parts that we didn't have, so.
Yeah.
That one's at the shop, but yeah, then we've been working on the list that the sheriff wanted us to,
Oh, yeah, good, good.
wanted to do so he
Yeah.
could do more enforcement.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And, you know, are you gonna implement the 5-day work week
Yep.
fairly soon?
starts Friday.
Oh, perfect, because that gives you more opportunity.
Yep.
I mean, I know people get sick, but
Yep.
if you've got 5 days, you can get something in done, it's gonna help.
And it's like the first rainy week we've had in a long time, hopefully.
Yeah, hope.
It's a rainy week.
We
So we're up on North Street, we're trying to do one culvert in the morning and then do other
Yeah.
stuff, because there's buried cable all the way down through there.
Oh, geez.
So this morning it was like.
Yeah.
Do one side of the road, get
Yeah.
it passable, and then you have to do the other side. It's kind of it's a huge pain, but
Yeah.
keeping traffic going and knowing there's a wire over there. So same thing, didn't want to start a second one at 11 and then be like,
Yeah, right.
What kind of cable is buried there?
telephone?
Telephone line.
Yeah,
Now, so you have to call DigSafe then?
yeah, that's all,
Yeah.
it's marked. They were only this far away from it.
Ooh.
And you don't know if it's over the culvert or under the culvert.
Right.
They don't give you a depth.
I
They
hate
just
it when-
give you a general idea of where it is.
I really hate it when you hit a line.
And then
It does not work out very well.
found the big wire,
Ooh.
and then smoothing out, like working around it, and here comes blue tape and
Yeah.
very colorful roots. I said, that must be the dead wire.
Oh, man.
So
All right,
well,
well,
it's just kind of a slow process, and then, but like I said, then what we've been doing is like today they ran them back over, work with the other machine for a few hours this afternoon. So
with wheel?
so
Good.
kind of doing back and forth
Right.
on it. We'll see
Yeah,
what the
I kind of
rain
wondered if it'd be worth keeping it, but I don't know.
Ugh.
Kind of a headache, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially when you get into electronics like that, it's like,
Yeah.
it's endless.
it is.
So random question, what's a gravel pile over there?
So that's so we have some here in town to use out of.
Okay.
Like the granite side of it, anything we don't use now, we'll use in mud season.
Yeah.
And then the blue slate is, we usually take a load over culverts, whenever we do a culvert, we take a load of that. Or some of the places that the granite has fallen apart this summer, like the chloride doesn't keep it together, we'll grade it and spread a little bit of the blue ledge on it and chloride it, really comforts it down.
Okay.
So, Yep.
I
That's-
didn't know whether the state was using that
No.
or whether we were using it. Yeah.
We don't have any room up at the shop.
Right.
And if anybody didn't get to drive by there, they were putting panels up today. It's starting to really look like a
Oh,
building.
nice. Cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. So
Good luck.
we had to go up and move some tanks around up there this morning.
Yeah, I've been going to the meetings, but I can't make it tomorrow morning.
Well,
But
Gonna
you-
miss it because
but
it's
you
gonna be a
want-
building there.
I know. Well, the walls, they already had them all prefab on the old slab, the town garage slab, they had them all stacked up. So now the foundation was ready to accept them, so they're going to put them up. Yeah, it's coming along well. There's a few holdups, but they're doing a great job.
It's all in all, it's coming along pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's always little snafus, but, and the thing about the process is it has to go through so many approvals. It's like, oh my gosh. Like that tank, the stupid sprinkler tank.
Yeah.
Like Christ almighty, they still haven't ordered it. Because, you know, we gotta figure out the outlet, it's gotta go back to the engineer, then it's gonna go back to the tank place, and then it's gonna go back here for approval. It's like, oh my God. Then they say, oh, it's 4 months out, you know, but,
And then you
It
have
won't
the
be.
other side of it. So the oil water separator, so the floor drain has to go into a separator
yeah,
to keep clean water.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, they're like, yep, it's gonna get dropped off.
Yeah.
Thursday morning, it'll be there by 9. They blew a tire on the interstate. So that's not the end of the world. but the tire then ripped all the brake lines off the trailer. So then it was unload the trailer.
Oh.
Is that for
On
the tank? The tank?
Yeah.
That's 3,000 gallon
Yeah,
tank,
yes.
right?
And then each piece was 16,000 pounds.
It was?
Something like that.
It was that heavy?
Huge.
And they'd already dug the hole for
Yeah.
it? Cause they're
They
gonna
were
set
like-
it in the hole.
Waiting for the truck to show up. Yeah. So,
That happens,
that's
that happens.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
So you're going to the meeting tomorrow?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be anything that's too earth shattering going on.
I think the big thing is just moving forward right
Yeah,
now. So
yeah.
They were laying membrane out on the office bathroom,
Yeah,
that part today. They were digging,
so they don't have that poured yet?
no, I thought that was supposed to be, and it
That
wasn't.
was supposed to be, right.
Um,
So they were putting plastic down? On
they
the-
were laying the membrane out, yeah,
Yeah.
a little thick.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
because there's no
And-
radiant going in there.
correct.
It's just.
And
concrete.
Cushing was there to start running geo lines. So they had 3 guys there,
Oh, nice.
so they were gonna commence running geo and water line,
Oh, good.
potable water.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. All right, well, thank you for spending $500,000
You
bucks.
bet.
And waters didn't move in today.
Oh,
At least they hadn't moved in when I was there at 2:30, 2:40.
Who had moved in?
Waters up on Solid Pond.
Oh,
They were gonna close that today,
yeah.
so
How does that affect us?
they're changing a
yeah,
culvert on Solid
yeah,
Pond.
that's been a big,
It's been slow.
slow. Wicked.
They make it sound like it's gonna be super quick when it happens, but
Yeah, but
you're
they're
gonna be there to meet it.
So they're there now.
No,
Oh.
nothing was there today at
Oh.
2:40.
The structure's made.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said the cement was curing or something.
And Mannions think they're gonna be moving out possibly the end of this week.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
great.
Have you seen the progress?
I can take pictures of it tomorrow if you want.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cause I figured the same thing, I was gonna, they didn't load pictures onto that Procore of the walls today. I thought by this afternoon they'd have pictures up, cause they had Mayos there with a crane and they had 2 of the baskets.
Oh, they had males there?
Yeah.
Oh, they did it with a crane?
Rodney.
Cool.
Had Rodney.
I don't know. So I was gonna call them because I got some work to do.
Yeah.
So they're from Hardwick?
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I worked with his brother John for
Oh,
a
nice.
couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Super nice family.
So are you accessing Procore from your computer?
I can do it right from my phone, I just did it.
Oh, you
right
can?
here. I
How
was
do you do
wondering
it?
if
You
they,
just put
you gotta get
Procore?
an app. and they
Oh, you gotta
have
get an
to-
app?
they-
Okay.
Yeah, and they have to give you access to the
Oh,
thing.
okay.
You might be on the list.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Right, I can't change anything. I
You-
don't want to. I just wanted to see.
It's handy to go on and see the progress when it's updated. John does a pretty good job. I think John's doing all that.
Oh,
Later in the process, it sounds like the photos will get switched over more to the CX alloy, which is like the check the boxes folks. They make sure everyone's doing the job they're supposed to be.
but that Ben can make changes. So,
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like I
That's
said,
good.
the Procore is handy if you're not around for a week or whatever. You
Yeah,
can
right.
go on and
I was
see.
thinking
There's
of,
pictures of the tank
Right.
on there and the plumbing going
Oh,
through
nice.
the tank and, like I say, all that stuff that's.
what's the sprinkler tanks?
No,
Oh, no.
the water center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause they haven't even ordered that yet. That's the thing I knew. But I hopefully find out tomorrow.
Yeah, will do.
All right. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you all.
yeah.
Take care.
No problem. Town treasurer monthly financial report. What do we got?
Okay, so we need to.
I'll make a motion to authorize the Chair Gardner to sign and date the revised audit engagement letter for the auditors. It's additional $7,000
Second.
Additional $7,000?
Yeah, it's for
Oh, yeah,
us.
looking at it
because
right
of
now.
FEMA.
Oh. Okay, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You made the motion.
I did.
I seconded it.
Any further discussion? So this just happened,
Yeah.
okay? No further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Ayes appear to have it, they do have it. And, got that,
We need a motion for the,
well, no, I'm just looking at the tax sale.
right, that's the next motion.
4.
I move to authorize the delinquent tax collector and the select board chair to sign the delinquent tax engagement letter from the attorney.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Guys appear to have it, they do have it. Was there anything else on the monthly financial report that we were gonna get? Oh, I see we have some figures here. Is there anything that we need to know?
No. We
Oh,
do
this
have
is
a
the-
couple of folks going on payment plans, so
Yes.
they won't go to tax sale.
Are those out of the four, you mean?
Yeah, I think it was 2 out of 4.
Okay. So maybe only two.
Mhm.
Usually they just pay up before
Yeah.
the tax sale happens.
Last one.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Any other financial updates that we need to know?
Nope.
All right. Warrants, they're right here. And let's see, we've also got to do the, planning commission recommendation and also accept the resignation or make a plan to fill that seat.
Right.
So, do we have to formally accept that?
We haven't always done it, but it's good procedure.
Okay. Well, we can do that right now, before we do the warrants.
So a motion to accept the resignation does not need a second because the person making the request, the resignation, making the request is considered making the second.
Oh,
So I move to accept the resignation of Zoe Christensen as select board member effective immediately.
any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your service, Zoe.
Yep, and then, so we are required to fill that seat. We can stall if we want to, but I don't see any reason we would or wouldn't. I think we should just
Of course.
move on.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's
I don't think we
reasons that
should
you
talk about
would.
that, I don't think this is a public meeting right now. It's-
No, I'm just,
I know.
it doesn't matter, it's fine. So, we should advertise for, someone interested in the
Promote.
position. So,
Yeah, put something on front porch
Front
forum.
porch
Do we
forum.
wanna promote it any other way?
On the website.
We usually post it as well,
And
as we
then,
go to meeting notice.
and
Yeah.
on the, and
Okay.
something on the website.
Yep. sounds good?
And, yeah, and the website, yep.
And to be clear, it's just for the remainder of the term,
Of course.
until
Right.
town meeting.
Right.
And then sometimes the person that gets appointed, they decide to run.
Yep.
Right.
And when, usually we set a deadline for
Yeah,
applying, figure out which meeting
Yeah.
we're gonna take this up at.
so this is, the 22nd, so we have a meeting beginning of October.
Maybe our October 20th meeting?
Yeah, let's do it then. That'd be a month.
Yeah.
That would give us time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Nothing
Yeah.
so
less.
that would be the deadline.
The deadline would be the Friday before?
Yeah, the Friday before the 20th,
Okay.
so that
So
would be
we-
the 18th, oh,
Mhm.
no, 17th,
17th,
yeah. So, that sound good?
Yeah,
Okay.
and as long as we're talking about meetings, November 3rd will be the first meeting after the time change, after we go off daylight savings time. How about we go ahead and say from November 3rd on for a while, we'll be starting at 5:30?
I'm in love with Carl.
Oh, good, I'll get home tonight. Or maybe not, maybe they'll take me home to your place.
I guess so.
Hold
I
on.
can try it and see
Hold
how
on,
it
I'll call
goes.
you.
Yeah.
Let me see if it works with your schedule with Tom's.
Yeah. I don't know about Tom, we should probably ask him.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's not until November. We can talk to him next time we come.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Right
Let's
now,
put that off, 'cause we
Okay.
should really talk to him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because
Okay.
you might get work done, he might be done
Okay.
later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Put
I
that, put that on the
I
agenda.
can do later, what's better for you, but I.
We'll put that on the agenda, Jen, for the next meeting. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that we've got to think about, take up is the planning commission recommendation. They were unanimous on the accepting the proposal from, what's the guy's name?
The appointment of Alexander Robb.
Yes, so that was unanimous, so I think we should do that, or should we interview him ourselves, or just appoint him?
I'm satisfied with the recommendation.
Yeah, I am too. Yep.
Motion to appoint Alexander Rod to the planning commission.
To fill out the,
Vacancy.
Vacancy
fill the
for,
vacancy, yeah.
of
Yeah.
Zoe Christensen. No,
No,
I'm sorry,
actually-
she hasn't resigned yet.
Actually, they've had a vacancy all year.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
vacancy, that,
Mhm.
what I
And
said
that would
before.
still be,
Until
She
town
hasn't,
meeting.
meeting.
she hasn't resigned.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
until town meeting.
yes, for the vacant, for the current vacancy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Whew, okay, so that was the additions, and we can do the warrant and the town administrator report, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
So for Horn and Moon Road culvert, construction, is scheduled, to be completed for this week. Sodom
Yay.
Pond culvert, is supposed to be starting construction this week. We do have the road closed for 10 days for that. However, Guthrie said it wasn't started yet today, but hopefully soon. We have a reminder for the tax appeal hearing for Goddard, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Quick town garage update, which we already discussed, getting the electricity, EV chargers, the piping, and shipping and placement of the sprinkler tank and runoff tank, and the foundations and walls are being built, gravel compacting and walls are going up. We still have our Tuesday weekly meetings at 9 a.m. and using the Procore system to manage a project. We have the VLCT Town Fair annual training scheduled for October 8th.
Who's going from the town for that?
So we have Rosie, Michelle, and myself.
Okay, great. I would love to get a report from somebody on the keynote talk. That sounds really interesting.
Followed up on the bond investment options, which were emailed 2 of them, which I forwarded to the select board, just last week, so probably still reviewing that. We have a CDBG DR grant hearing on the 25th. We have John Broderick writing the application from the READY program, and that will be posted shortly. The Mallory Brook drawing is Thursday as well.
Okay. Hey, did you designate me as the representative for East Montpelier to the town fair? I mean, to the town VLCT annual
I
meeting?
can follow up on that one.
Okay.
I don't recall.
I'm not sure whether you were going to do that or whether I was expected to do that.
Is Carl worthy of
I
that?
don't.
You've already
We've
decided
already
that.
said
We already
yes.
decided that,
I guess then he is worthy of it.
Yeah.
well, whether it is or not, we already decided.
Can we revoke it? Can we revoke it?
Sure.
I don't
Are
want,
you suggesting yourself?
no,
Oh.
no, I don't want to revoke it anymore.
Okay. I don't think anybody else has to sign these, I think, I don't think so. No.
Okay,
My phone's going off a lot.
And then we got this note, it's on the website in connection with this meeting, investing loan proceeds from Melissa Valera. What are we
Yes,
supposed to
so
do with
that's
that?
for the bond, and those are the 2 options.
Okay.
that's what she just
We did
mentioned.
the
So-
number 1 is what we authorized, but
Yeah.
there's the other option there if we want to.
So do you want us to act on this at next meeting, or what's
Yeah,
it here for?
review, I know
Okay.
like it was
What-
requested
what are we-
earlier.
What are we waiting for? Why should we wait another 2 weeks to invest hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars? We just spent $500,000, we're losing thousands of dollars by not investing.
Oh, it is invested, but there's
Okay.
just 2 options, so
Okay, yeah,
if you wanna change option.
No.
Right, right.
Okay, so
They're
which,
fine.
which option are we using right now?
I believe it's number 1, US Bank,
Are we happy with that one?
with money market.
Okay. So we don't need to do anything? Okay. Thank you.
not in my opinion.
Okay.
It's all AAA.
Okay,
This memo says that they may be invested in option number 1 by completing the authorization letter on the following page.
So I already filled that out.
Okay, okay, very good. Satisfied?
oh, did Connor get paid, or whoever?
So what happened was, is they never, I don't believe they sent me the invoice for that, they
Oh.
sent me, the salt shed invoice, so I was saying it's paid.
Wrong invoice.
So then I clarified, well, what is the invoice number, just to make
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, good.
And then they sent me that, and then they had to get it signed by the architects, and then we got the $230,000
Yes,
one, that's the one they were talking about. So
Yes.
now that one's in here,
okay,
so the warrant is large
Yeah.
as
got it. Do we was just some confusion about which it is.
How many cows do you have out?
100.
Oh,
And the state police have been called, everyone's
Excellent. Are we good? Can I make a motion?
I think so. Nothing else, I know.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.